In this week's episode of the OCD Podcast, learn a little bit more about the history of the Orange County Degenerates. Stay up to date on all of the content here at youtube.com/Orange County Degenerates by hitting the subscribe button below. This week's podcast includes a special live recording of an Orange County Degenerates rehearsal. Click the annotation. Jesus Christ!
I knew something was going to happen. Alright, I'm getting out of this tough crap. How do you play with that mic so close to your head? Are you shorter than me? Oh, dear God. I lean back a little bit and there's a lamp right there.
This week's podcast includes a special live recording of an Orange County Degenerates rehearsal. Click the annotation to skip to it now.
That was so good. Is it seriously just that? That's the whole game?
Yeah, you just...
As far as you can get?
Yeah,
Different
let's see.
levels, or is that it?
No, oh, God damn it. Hold on. I got it. Shit.
Hey, Kristian. Don't mess up. Don't mess up.
I got this.
Don't mess up. I don't know if he's going to mess up this time.
I don't know.
He's got it. Nope. Wait. I see some sweat. He's sweating. He's sweating.
Oh my god. Oh my god, okay.
Really? You're going to play again?
I got this. I get past my... Fuck this.
You're so good at that game.
So, you guys are jerks.
What?
Did you not know we were recording?
No, did not know you were recording. Hey, it's a podcast.
Hey, it's a podcast.
What the hell was that?
That was the trial intro song for this episode.
Is that just how it's gonna go? We're just gonna keep.
Yeah,
well,
last time. If you didn't know, last time EJ did the beatboxing intro.
Sadly, that was me.
That was you?
I don't want to admit it, but that was me.
Oh, I thought that was EJ that
That's
did that.
air quotes, quote unquote, beatboxing.
That was
Yeah.
quote unquote EJ who did that, by the way.
I could have sworn that was EJ, who is sadly not here today. Again.
He is not here. EJ is a very elusive band member of ours. He has many different things, many different responsibilities that he has as well. He just doesn't play saxophone for us. He also plays the
bassoon or no?
the bass clarinet.
The bass. He plays the hip.
Yeah,
the hip.
He's professional.
But is he auditioning with his bass clarinet today?
I think he's auditioning for something at some place
at some time.
At some time.
That
yeah.
sounds awesome.
So good luck to you, EJ.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, I don't have a soda.
I do not have a soda.
Oh well. There you go.
Sucks to be you.
So I think what we should do is we should talk about music. I think it's...
Wait, what, music?
Yeah, it was this episode 4.
What are we,
now?
a band or something?
Yeah, right? Episode 4 of the quote-unquote OCD Podcast, the Orange County Degenerates band podcast, and we haven't talked about music.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about stuff.
And I think
then again,
stuff.
Most podcasts are like 2 hours long. So... You know, our segments are around 50-something, around 50 minutes.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So, you know, third episode is basically kind of around the 2-hour range.
Yeah. So, I think at the, if we're lucky, at the end of this podcast, we're going to have a little musical treat for you. Just like we promised last week, that at the end of this podcast, we would present to you a little bit of the rehearsal of Orange County Degenerates, and we might have some of that in that recording when we were doing it. Spoilers, we did it before we recorded the actual podcast. But we talked about, well, at least I mentioned one of our influences, which was the Suburban Legends.
The Legends.
The Legends, man.
Yeah, the Legends. Well, the No Tones, or the
bomb squad and the No Tones.
That's the original name of the Legends. And But my first encounter with the Suburban Legends would have to be a show sometime around the 2009, I believe.
That sounds about right.
Around 2009
It was,
at the Tomorrowland Terrace.
It was shortly thereafter that. Well, I don't know if you think about it. Where were we as a band when we first ran into them?
Non-existent.
Non-existent.
I don't think
yeah.
you had joined yet.
Well, I know
No,
I
you didn't-
hadn't.
Yeah, you didn't join
But
yet.
you said 2009 is about where we first saw the Legends and we were first inspired by them, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that would be after I came back into the
No,
band. I think
Yeah, that's when.
first I was inspired by the Boss Tones, and I
No,
wrote.
that's because I.
Okay. So now we're kind of jumping into the middle of.
Well, yeah, you're jumping into the middle of a
into the middle
story.
of our history.
Yeah.
So why don't we go all the way back to
Oh,
where we
God, all the
first
way
started
back.
as a band?
2005
2005-ish around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or the no names. We
They were.
didn't have a name.
It was. There was no name for the band. I didn't join in yet,
Yeah.
but it was.
Okay, so we'll start with at the very beginning the no name
Okay,
band.
I can start from the beginning.
Yeah, go ahead, start from the beginning.
You know, because you started the band.
Jeez, what was it, like Thanksgiving 2005 or something? I was at the old drummer's birthday party or whatever,
Okay.
and we went to the garage to get like a Coke or something from the garage fridge, and there was a drum set there, and I was like, "Dude, you play drums?" And he's like, "I'm taking lessons and stuff," and like, you know, my friend Johnny was there too. He actually ended up picking up a bass like literally a day or two later.
I thought when I came in, you guys were still using 2 guitars.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so when we started this band, Johnny was in a guitar class with good catch.
yeah.
there.
See.
And we had 2 guitars and a drummer, and we were just literally I was also in my first or second year of playing guitar, and
So-
we were just
well-
messing around garage band style.
So before I joined in, what did you really play? Or what did what were the compositions that you made?
We attempted to jam. Yeah, pretty much all we would do is we'd sit there and we'd attempt to play music. I wouldn't.
You need to hold something. Is this a story that you need to hold something like a
Yes.
guitar or
Like-
coffee cup?
Like a guitar.
Okay, well I think Dodson's gonna treat us with some
Some
music here.
Where the heck is my pick?
So attempting to play music.
Attempting to jam out and attempting
Okay.
to jam out and
So, you know, we would be like attempting to jam or whatever. And that helped leaps and bounds. I don't think anyone heard that, but
that actually
I'm
did sound
satisfied.
pretty cool.
So, you know, we'd literally just sit there and mostly we just drink Cokes and talk about video games and try to play like Sunshine of Your Love, Smells Like Teen Spirit.
So those were already part of your set list.
That was the first song we ever actually learned as a band was Smells Like, you know, good old Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Good
So a
old
garage band from Orange County covered a garage band
from
from
Seattle.
Seattle.
At least it's on the West Coast.
Okay, West Coast.
That probably won't show up.
Probably not.
And you know, Sunshine of Your Love we learned shortly thereafter. I think at one point we tried to learn like Guilty Gear music, but that was way later.
Like
That was like after you started showing up, I think.
So when did you start showing up, Nathan?
I showed up.
6 months?
No, not 6 months. If you said 2005, well, depending on what time in 2005, maybe like fall. If it was fall 2005, then Connor, Johnny, and I would be freshmen in high school. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So we would be around. I came in 2006 because of the spring
musical that you were in. Yeah,
And that's how you found out about me, because I auditioned for
a singing part. In
the
that,
singing
yeah.
part of the spring musical, and then you're like, dude, you could sing, and then I just basically joined in. So it was about 6 months to a year later of the start of Orange of the No Name Band. I came in, and then when I came in, they're all like, "Oh man, we have this song that we played." Yeah, it was this weird song, and then had no lyrics. Again, had no lyrics. And I had during that time, I was messing around with like music videos as well. Or not music videos, but messing around with programs for music and videos. And I had this program called Sony Acid. I still use it sometimes. But that was basically the first recording tool that I had available, but I didn't have any inputs yet.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was, all I had was a Hey You Pikachu mic.
Oh God, I remember that.
Which is a surprisingly good mic, actually.
It was a good mic until Dodson destroyed my mic, but fed it to his dogs.
Is that what happened to the mic?
Yeah.
My dogs ate it. Like, I didn't feed it to them. I didn't go, here you go, pups. Enjoy this Hey You Pikachu microphone.
Well, anyways, I had the Hey You Pikachu mic and used that for basically all of the recording. And they were playing that one song that Dodson was playing earlier. And they just kept going. I didn't save any of the tracks because they were like, "Oh man, that was bad. Just chunk it. We're gonna do it again." And they just kept saying that, blah blah blah. You know, like, "Oh, there's bad tracks. Chunk it. Start over. Blah blah blah." And
Chunk It didn't come around until Colin.
Chunk It didn't come around until Colin. But they said, "Oh, throw it away, delete it, restart." So finally, when they got a new track, like a perfect track, since we all had to play at the same time, since we didn't have multi-track experience.
Yeah, it was old school recording.
Yeah, we all did it in one go with everybody playing together. They are like, "Oh man, we like that track. Let's save it." And then I jokingly said, "All right, take 102 complete." And then that became the song title out of that one joke.
Take 102.
Yeah, I think I think it happened before you started recording.
Which one?
I don't remember. The Take 102, the name of the song. Was it really during the recording?
No, it was after the recording.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but
terrible song.
it was well, it was good for a first composition of an original.
And at this point, were you still were we? I guess
Oh,
we
okay.
were
No,
we still
It
an
didn't come in until Forest.
The name?
Yeah.
No, we
'Cause we
became
went to Disneyland with Forest, didn't we?
we became Take 102.
Oh, was that our?
That was the
Yeah,
name of the
that was
band.
the band name. We named it after the first
Oh,
song.
Awesome.
So it was
That's
like,
what you
oh
should
yeah,
do.
now we're Take 102. So we became Take 102 in the first place. And then Connor was thinking of some songs that he wanted to compose and play with the band, and he was thinking of changing the name to one of his songs, Kings of Babble. He had lyrics to the song already, and then I jokingly
No, it's
said-
because he wrote also down like the way the music would go.
Yeah,
Like,
he
didn't
wrote
know
down-
actually A, B, C, E, D or anything, but
Yeah,
he wrote down like
he wrote down what he wanted it to do. And do you already know the song?
I don't know, that's way too long ago, but it
Okay.
sounded like
Well,
that
he had
Naruto
lyrics.
song.
Yeah, he had lyrics, and then the title of the song, Kings of Babel, and he had lyrics that said, "We are the Kings of Babel." So I jokingly said, "Oh, is the song gonna sound like this? We are Kings of Babel." Na, 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 na. And then he immediately I think discarded the song after that because of because
Funny
of that
enough,
joke.
I think the thing he was looking for with like the way he wrote out the scheme of the song, that's kind of how the
Kinda.
chords went. Like the
Oh no.
we are kings of Babble.
But that song was disregarded, and later on we had a keyboardist that joined in.
Oh yeah.
Forrest.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's for
He joined in as we were known as the Take 102. And then we took a trip to Disneyland.
For somebody's birthday, wasn't it?
It was for all.
It was all of our.
It was
we
all of
had-
our. Yeah.
We all had
birthday buttons.
We were all Nathan.
Yeah, I think it was my birthday.
Cause what was it? You know, you were Nathaniel.
No, I was
or
Nathan.
you
You were
I was
Nathaniel,
Nathaniel.
and Jonathan was Joe Nathan.
And Connor.
And then Connor.
Connor.
He didn't
He didn't.
want to join in, and we couldn't really change his name to a Nathan.
Yeah.
So
And we went to the Stitch.
while it was still there in
Innovations. right?
Tomorrowland's Innoventions, there was a thing upstairs on the second floor called Talk to Stitch. So we went ahead and visited that all with us, all 4 people. Forrest wasn't able to join us.
Oh, that's right. And the one thing I remember the most about that was like when we were talking to him, and then Connor, like out of nowhere, was all like, "So how do you do that? Who's behind there?" Or something
And
like
then-
that. And Stitch
yeah, Stitch
turned
just-
over, looked at him, and went, "Who invited him?"
Yeah. Yeah, he just kept, basically the whole time we were there, he just kept dissing
Connor.
at Connor. Every shot that Stitch was able to, it was very funny.
Nathan brought up we were in a band.
Yeah, we
and
were
he's
in a
like, "Oh, what's
band."
your band name?" And we're like, "Well, we don't
No, we
really
don't
have one
one
yet."
yet.
He's like, "How about the Degenerate Elite?"
Yeah,
And we were like,
it was all like, he
Huh.
said that. I was like, how about the Degenerate Elite? And then we look at each other. It's like,
"Wow,
huh.
sounds pretty cool."
Yeah, it sounded pretty cool. And then,
Connor was like, "I hate it. It's terrible."
yeah, and then, he had one, Woody
Another-
come back
another
again. I'm
Stitch
sure.
line.
I can't think about it, but
Well, let's hear your band name, or like
yeah, right. Yeah,
it was
something
just,
like that.
It just led down. He dug himself a hole.
That's
Yeah.
so sad.
And we left. We left the shack that his attraction was in, and we were just like, you know what, that's pretty cool. And then Connor's like, oh, you just like it because Stitch said it. I was
yeah.
like, you know what, no, it sounded like a really cool name. So that became the birth of the name Degenerate Elite.
At the Degenerate Elite. So what happened? What happened from then? Because I know
We had another guitarist.
Yeah, from then we
picked up a guitarist.
picked up another guitarist.
And made
so.
some
So okay. So
originals.
you started off with 2 guitarists, essentially.
Yeah.
But the other guitarist would be a
Played
bass rhythm.
single notes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A rhythm guitar / bass-ish.
And then you picked up a keyboardist.
We picked up a keyboardist, and then we picked up... But he left.
Yeah.
He had to go. He just left.
Okay.
And then Steve, the second guitarist, came in, and we turned into a
Metal band.
metalish
Oh, well,
kind of
metal pop.
screamo.
Metal pop.
Metal pop screamo.
We weren't really scream.
Not
No,
screamo, but-
screamo would be if you did that one scream in that one song for the
Oh.
whole song.
Yeah,
Then
okay.
you'd be screamo.
So that was metal pop.
that was just like a wow. That's normal metal stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Metal Pop had 2 songs under our belt that were
Okay.
original. I believe they were called No Control and Be My One.
Oh, God,
And
how
I
did
can't
BY
remember. Oh, yeah. Won't you come into my home? Won't you come and sit? Won't you come into my room? Won't you come and stay? Now come and rock the world with me. Now come and rock this bed with me. Now we're under the sheets and covers. Now we're under this eternal feeling. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Be my one. Oh, be my one. That was,
good.
my
Yeah,
God.
that was,
that was the pop song that I think at the time I stated this would be our radio hit.
Yeah.
if we got famous.
Yes, you did state that. I remember that.
That would be though. If you think about it, that was a very terrible song. It would have been great on radio.
Yeah, and then we had No Control, which I don't remember the lyrics to that.
God,
I just remember No Control. I think it was supposed to be a rip from Metallica.
yeah, like totally.
Yeah,
Metallica.
so
Okay, so then what happened after that?
after that, both of our guitarists left. Steve left for reasons unknown, and then
I had to move
Dodson had to move
to
to Maryland for
a job
reasons
and a girl.
unknown. Or you could
For a
say it then.
girl.
Yeah, for a girl. And that can I say that?
For the bitch.
No, for a girl that immediately left
me.
him as soon as he moved back.
There was
So-
that was your first mistake.
Not immediately. It was like 3 months later, but yeah.
That's
it
not
was-
immediate. I was.
I don't know. Did you move across the country? 3 months is a pretty short amount of time.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Well, to be fair, I also had a job lined up for me there.
Okay.
When I moved, so I did like instantly when I got there, I was working and making money. Whereas
Okay.
here, like I didn't really have money for school, and I was having issues with that, and things kind of were going downhill.
So then after that, if I recall, this is where I started to, I guess,
Monitor.
yeah,
You started to
essentially, yeah. This is where I
monitor
started
us?
to monitor the band. I started to get into to understand some of the internal affairs of the band. Is it not true that you recorded a song? I say you because I wasn't part of the band at the time.
across the
that-
country.
You recorded a song in collaboration with each other across the country.
Yes.
we did.
And that
We what we did was while he was gone, Dodson, Johnny, and Connor had this song that I believe is still available on iTunes.
Really?
Yeah, we just don't get royalties from it because we didn't pay for the we didn't pay for the subscription again. But it's called To the Light, and it's a classic rock kind of feel song. So Johnny thought of the guitar riff, and then Connor also thought of the guitar riff that also had lyrics. So I had no problems singing along. But during the recording, that's when I had a soundboard, which we use right now, the Samson 4-input soundboard that you could connect to the computer, which was very nice.
Our first.
and at this point, you were
recording
still
technology.
just the singer.
I was still just a singer, recording
you know,
master,
you know what the
and
funniest
a.
part?
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just remembered the funniest part about this was I remember like recording it crappily online and sending it to you, and then I remember I visited my father for Christmas, and in that time we were there, we got together and I actually did.
Yeah, you did it live
I
with-
did it
with my
there
set- with the
you,
setup.
with the setup, and
Yeah.
I remember that, and I was like, "What is this? This is so different."
Yeah,
like-
right. But yeah, Johnny was the one that made up the riff, and you know, if you could hear it through Dodson's microphone, it's a very simple riff. It's just a repeat of one measure or a bar.
I need to get a instrument mic.
Yeah,
next
right.
time.
Next time
I'm just
we'll have
gonna-
an instrument mic.
I'm just gonna play musical podcast.
But yeah, as Dodson said, recording it, we were trying to think of like, oh man, solos. How are we gonna do this? I'm sorry I didn't get to save the original solos that Johnny made. I'm so sorry. I can't find those files anymore. But we did have parts where Johnny started recording something. It's like, you know what? Let me call up Dodson again. Let me see if I still have contacts with him via Skype. So let me see if I could work with him and see if we could think of a of a solo that we could put into the song. So I was like, okay, fine. So our next band meeting, I would have something with me. I talked to Dodson via Skype, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna send you this song. It's in a raw. I want you to try to make a solo in this section right over here.
I think I got back to you 10 minutes
Yeah,
later.
you got back to me 10 minutes later with basically the same solo that you made or that you continued playing with.
Yeah.
So you just stuck with it. So it was amazing how fast you came up with a solo for this.
Yeah.
And he sent it he sent it as a file share. I sent him, well, he didn't have any good program with him at the time, but it was Audacity, and all
Yeah,
he did was
Put an echo on it.
Huh?
I put an echo on it.
Yeah, you put an echo, like a self echo, and you recorded it via your
A mini amp.
A mini amp,
A pocket
a
amp.
pocket
rather.
amp, which was like
oh Lord.
3 by
Oh, yeah.
3 inches.
Maybe 5 to 10 watts.
Yeah, that
at the
ran on
most.
AA batteries or something.
Uh,
A C battery,
no, 8 volt.
an 8 volt. Okay, ran
Yeah.
on an 8 volt battery, but
8 volt.
Yeah, 9 volt.
9 volt.
Yeah,
you
8 volt battery.
Ran on a
Yeah,
an 8 volt battery. It just has a positive end.
Okay.
9 volt, and
So after
he recorded with his his laptop microphone, and he just sent it to me. I just stuck it in there. It's like, hey, how do you like the solo? And they're like, oh man, that's really cool. And as Dodson said, he visited one Christmas, and we actually got together in person and recorded the song.
So after To the Light, what
that's when things started really changing, actually, in the band. Like,
Yeah,
when
that's
I got back from Maryland, like, pretty much I heard you guys didn't really do much. You had a couple guitarists, you
Yeah, we had
played one.
Yeah, we had another. We joined forces with a guitarist named Kristian.
not me.
Not you.
And,
But
you guys played a show.
we did play a live show over at our high school, Sunny Hills.
Pretty empty part of the story, actually, from what I hear. There's
Yeah, we
not
played.
much activity. at
We
all.
played during a festival, so we were able to go get stage time. It was empty, but there were still people in chairs, watching. And I don't know if I forget. I know we recorded it, but I don't know where it is anymore. So that's a lost tape. If I could find it again, I'll try to put it up there. But
Anyways, so then
Anyways,
I
yeah.
came back.
after that, I have no. We had a hiatus, and I didn't really continue on for a while because we were all kind of busy. We didn't really get together much.
Oh, we
and
missed
then
one.
Huh?
We missed I Don't Like You.
we did miss. I Don't Like You.
Yeah. Was a
Yeah,
song
I Don't Like You was a
wrote
song
in senior year.
I wrote not in senior year.
Was it not senior year?
I didn't write it in senior year. I wrote it 2 years before, and I never pitched it to anybody until.
So was
Until
it
senior
after
year.
I came back? Oh, was it?
No,
okay,
it was
senior
Yeah,
year.
we had an original song written lyrically by me. I Don't Like You, and you somehow, within 5 minutes of looking at the lyrics, thought of a tune already. So it was actually pretty. Yeah, I mean that's when I knew it's like Dodson, you really have a talent for composing. Seriously.
I think I've written most of our stuff.
Yes, you've written most of our stuff. You've written the the song for I Don't Like You. A Year and 8 Months. What else? Do Something. I Know. El Matador. Well, El Matador, you thought of the tune, but Kristian.
And that's a
He said-
story
he
for later in the
Yeah,
timeline.
Yeah. Well, continuing
Okay.
on, we missed I
Anyways.
Don't Like You.
Yeah, it was a song.
That was a song.
So then I came back. I came back from Maryland.
Yeah, you came back.
And
basically,
I was like, hey guys, you guys still playing ever?
Well, actually, before that, before you came back, I was talking to you about changing the name because we weren't
right.
because we weren't doing much anymore. Kristian, the guitarist, left.
We
for
also
unknown
missed a
reasons
very
again.
important transitioning point where you showed me the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones.
Yes, during
and
that
I
time.
learned impression that I get, and I loved, like, I just got full into ska.
Yeah, during
right
the hiatus, that was the time, around the same time where Suburban Legends came into play, and it was like, oh man, the ska song, and then I just thought of impression that I get from the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Like, wait, I've heard this song before,
yeah.
and it was when we were still when I was in elementary school still, and we were driving back and forth from home and school, that song would show up on the radio. That's where I heard that song before. I was like, oh man, this is so familiar to me. And then I showed it to Dodson. He's like, hey,
I like ska.
yeah. I was like, we like ska. So
Ska's cool.
and then I showed him some Suburban Legends, and he was like, oh man, this is awesome. It's like a mix between rock and like
Something else.
something else.
Something else.
And then as soon as he came back, I was already talking to him. I was like, you know what, we should probably let's change our name because Degenerate Elite. I found out that Degenerate Elite was also a metal screamo punk band
in like
in
Tennessee
Florida.
or
In
Florida.
Florida.
Florida?
In Florida. It was in Florida. Yes. The other Orange County.
The Orange. Yeah, cool.
But I was like, you know what? I want to keep the Degenerates name, but
And then
let's have Orange County Degenerates. And then it was just a play on words for OCD, which is now our band name, Orange County Degenerates.
and then I came back. Is that like when we went to visit the school?
Yeah, you came back.
And then we went to visit Sunny Hills.
No,
right?
you came back, and then we joined we played with the band again, and then it was like I pitched them the names, like, hey, you know what? Why don't we just change the name to Orange County Degenerates? And it's like,
Johnny.
okay, they were indifferent
Yeah.
to the name, but they didn't refuse, so we continued on as the Orange County Degenerates from that time on. And then I was in fall or spring of my freshman year of college.
Yeah.
And then we visited. Oh, it had to be fall or spring because
School
people were still in Sunny Hills at the time that you wanted to visit.
Exactly.
We decided to visit the high school that we came from, Sunny Hills, for somebody for a girl that Dodson again.
Here we go.
Dodson decided to.
Oh, that wasn't the only reason. It was a side quest.
It was a side quest, I guess. Yeah.
A very important side quest. It turned out to be
very important because as soon as we came out of that school, disappointed. I'll just say disappointed.
Yeah, she flat out rejected even talking to me.
Yes, and then
and I wrote a year and 8 months.
yeah, we took the bus. We took the bus back to Fullerton College, and I just saw him just writing furiously in his notebook. And then he told me to look at this verse that he wrote down, and then he's like, "What do you think of this?" And I was like, "Well, it's deep, you know." And I believe the verse was,
They say that you can't change the past.
they say
but
that
I
you
can
ca-
try all day as long as you will stay, as long as I will.
yes. And then the next day,
Jeez.
No, that night.
that night, yes, I should say
Wow.
that night,
I sent the
I
Guitar
signed
Pro.
on to Skype, and then he had this program called Guitar Pro. So apparently he had a program called that. It's like, hey, download this, and then actually, you didn't say download this. You send it to me via MIDI file, I
Yeah.
think. So he's like, listen to this, and then it's like do 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 do, and then it's like, whoa, where did you?
I remember hearing a bit of an addendum to that story where he said, you should take that and make it into a ska song
Yes.
because you can have that deep feeling, but it's upbeat. Is that true? Because at this time you were still influenced by the Boss Tones and by the Legends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the birth of the Orange County Degenerates' first ska-esque song.
Ska-esque song, yeah.
Ska-inspired.
But
Yep.
what? After that, we pitched it over to Connor and Johnny, and they're like, "Oh,
It's too hard.
it's too hard." Yeah, because Dodson was growing in composing, especially with when it comes down to what we were doing. And I was like, "Oh man, we can't keep up with this. This is too hard." Johnny couldn't play the song. Connor couldn't play the
it at all.
drums to the song, and it was like we just kept going at it. We just kept going at it, and then we recorded the song.
I had to do the bass.
Had to do the bass.
Still do. Still do.
I
do.
still-
yeah.
I still
in
do
some
all the
moments
bass.
he still does the bass.
In
So-
some moments.
So it was where
We're
in the
just-
story does Best Buy fit into this?
Oh man,
That-
that's
Best-
still
Best
a few-
Buy.
That's still that. Oh, that's
No,
not
Bet-
that far down the road.
No, that wasn't that far down the road.
Because
Oh,
I
we
know
played-
that.
the first playing of A Year and 8 Months.
So I
was at
know
Best
that
Buy.
you as a band, you
Without
again, as a band, because I wasn't part of
No,
it
with
at the
Connor.
time.
Without-
You started.
No,
you,
with.
you started to
we
do.
have 3 shows. Remember? We had
We
3
played
shows
A Year
of.
and 8 Months with Connor.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Uh-huh.
I was there because I was your roadie at the time.
Yes,
And
he,
you
he
also
became the
recorded the
roadie and the
songs.
recorder of the song.
Yes, I was the video recorder.
And the
Come on,
sound
I've only
check
got like
guy.
5 minutes of battery left.
So
Yeah.
you went to Best Buy because they had open mics at the time. The Best Buy that we have has a music department, and they offered open mic nights. And I know that the Orange County Degenerates at the time, which was Nathan, Dodson, Johnny, and Connor,
Played every other week, I think.
yeah, they played rather frequently. And
Yeah.
this is where I guess they're one of their first one of their first performances as the Orange County Degenerates.
I had to pitch it
came
to
out.
them. It's like, you know what? We've been in the garage for the longest time.
years.
Let's play outside. Let's try playing outside. And then we're like, oh, I don't know. They were very shy about it. But Dodson and I were theater majors or theater students, I should say, not theater majors. But we've been on stage, we've been in front of crowds, so we know what it's like to be on stage.
So you performed on your respective instruments, and there was a critical turning point in the band's history.
Yes. So our first show at Best Buy,
went
we
okay.
were. It was nice.
It was fun.
It was
We
fun.
had so much
we had so
fun.
much fun, and then we were like, you know what? Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Maybe 2 months from now or a month from now.
It was less than that, I think.
It was probably less than
Probably
that.
a week or two.
It's
I
probably
think.
like 2 weeks, I think.
And then we were like, all right, Best Buy show, let's go. And then Connor,
Oh my god.
this not decided to get sick, but
Wait, I thought that was the show he did play. And
No,
it was just
no.
bad.
no, we had 3 shows together, then without Connor, then together again.
Okay. Oh
But
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So the second show, Connor was, he came down with something.
It was something intense.
It was something
he had to
intense.
Get, like, a spinal.
Yeah, he had to get a
something.
spinal tap,
Ugh.
and he was in
He
his
had
bathtub with ice all over.
Yeah, he had like 103.
Yeah, he was-
degree
he
fever
was
or
very
something,
sick.
like
And it came
104.
down just before one of the shows.
Literally
yes,
the
it came
day
down,
before.
and then he kept telling us like, "Man, we can't do the show. We can't do the show." I was like,
I
"No,
kind
we
of wanted to prove him wrong.
Yeah, I wanted to. Well, I didn't want to prove him wrong, but I didn't want to cancel. At that time,
We did have some people who are going to be showing up.
Yeah, we already
Oh,
had people,
important
that
people,
were
yeah.
going to
Mhm.
be showing up. At the time, I happened to have we happened to buy a drum set because I got very interested over the time that we played together.
It was a cheap electronic drum set.
It was a cheap electronic drum set, yes. And then after months, a month or two of having that electric drum set, we decided to have a full-blown acoustic drum set that I have now today. It is a blue Yamaha Stage Custom, 4-piece with
Dusty.
yeah, it's old. That's how you know it's dusty. I want to clean it up. But during that time, well, with Connor absent, one of our practices was in my house, and we decided to have our day before performance practice at the house,
And this is
which we practice here now.
and this is that critical turning point because you sang
While
and-
playing the drums.
Wow.
and
yeah,
played
I-
the drums at the same time.
Yeah,
The day
because
before,
of
you
because of
learned how.
necessity. For some reason, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do this just because we need to. So I tried my hand at singing and playing the drums at the same time. Mind you, it was very difficult at first.
I'm sure it still is. You're just
it's
so
still-
used to it.
Yeah,
now.
it still is, but now I'm getting used to it. But the first show without or a second Best Buy show without Connor,
Yep, you
and,
played and sang.
I played and sang. I was a little nervous at first, but as soon as the first song hit, it was done. You know, the nerves were gone, and for some reason, I was able to do it.
You know that show's still up.
That
on our
show is
Facebook,
still up on
and
our
it's
Facebook.
really embarrassing to watch.
And we'll go ahead and put that in the link
We'll
dump
put
so
it in
you
the
can
link
see
dump.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
so you can see the Orange County Degenerates,
Oh.
one
And
of the
see how
first
they've
incarnations.
grown.
Yeah, see how they grown.
And then
The
we
third
had
show.
and then we had another critical,
Oh, this
third
one was
show.
this one
Yes,
was
we had a-
really
which I was
critical.
not able to attend as a roadie. I had work at the time.
You were
Mhm.
sick.
You
That's
were
right.
sick.
I was sick.
You were sick.
I was sick.
You showed up at the very end, though.
So
I remember you being there at the very end because I talked to you after the show.
I was here. I was at home.
Yeah.
No,
it-
you
No, you
made
went-
it for the last
No,
song.
no. The second show I was sick, but I made
Oh.
it anyways.
Oh,
The
okay.
third show I wasn't able to, and we came back. You met me at home.
Yeah.
Someone else had recorded the performance. I watched it, and I immediately knew something was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And the same
Even our demeanor
right
during the
after-
show.
Right after the show, I went up to Nathan and I'm like, something's not working.
Yeah. Even after, like, during the show, we were just. It was.
The-
You could
the-
feel
the chemistry was wrong.
Yeah, you could feel that the chemistry was very.
And this was
bad.
you back to singing only.
Yeah, me back to singing only. Connor was.
It was just bad chemistry.
It was just it just
something happened.
churned into, bad milk. Basically, it just started to. We just started to disconnect with each other.
There was creative
There
difference.
was a creative difference. Yes, there's the word.
and this is where the Orange County Degenerates
Branched off.
branched off. It became Nathan and Dodson, continued with the name Orange County Degenerates, and Johnny and Connor continued their own musical path.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we
And,
didn't we record stuff just us two?
Yes,
A year and 8 months, right?
We recorded just ourselves while we were
In between
band members. Yeah,
We
we were able to borrow Johnny's bass. He was kind enough to let us borrow that for a day of recording. We recorded ourselves
what did we
I Don't Like
recorded I
You,
Don't Like You, a year and
a
8
year and
months.
8 months, and
Smells?
Was it
no,
Smells? Caveman? No.
I Like Milk.
Ah, I like milk.
Really?
Yes.
That early?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's right. We did play that back then.
Yes, we did
Oh,
play it
we've
back then.
been
We
playing
played
that
it
for a long time.
Yeah, we played that during the Best Buy
shows,
shows.
yeah.
I just didn't mention it because
I always
we
forget
never
about
mention we never mention I Like Milk because it's just easy to forget. It's easy to forget.
So then, when it was just you two,
Yeah, we recorded some stuff, and that Battle of the Bands thing was coming.
and,
up.
Yeah,
and
the
that's-
Battle of the
and
Bands.
that is the song that you put up
A year and
for
8 months.
We put up a year and 8 months for
was it
the
the Chegg,
the
Battle
Chegg
of the Bands?
College Battle of the Bands.
and we won most plays.
Yeah, so
I wonder why.
So there
I
was
had a huge influence.
so
on
there
that,
was
but
Judge's Choice,
It was Judge's Choice,
top rated,
and then most played.
and most played,
yeah, and then wild card.
and then a wild card. So there was 4 choices that could be that could have been made. We and now I'll say we.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, no,
not
no,
yet.
well,
Oh,
true,
you mean
very
a month
true.
before the
Yes,
show.
very true.
it was
So
we.
they won
most plays.
most plays, and then they quickly realized
we need a
We-
bassist.
yeah, we need a
they
bassist.
need a
We-
third
So
person.
we
let me
can't
tell
really
this
play.
story.
Yeah,
I
go
wanna,
ahead.
I want to tell this one because I love it.
Okay.
I love telling this story.
Go ahead.
So me, Nathan, and their parents went out to buy a bass for Kristian.
me, Kristian.
This Kristian who had never touched one before, and so we're
Just a rock band.
we went
plastic
The only
bass.
reason, okay, in my defense, the only reason I once, for the life of me, I don't know why I did this, but I said, I'd love to learn to play the bass guitar because I always played the bass line in Rock Band.
Yep. And then so we went out and we bought this bass. We got it for a steal. We got a nice bass
Well,
that he
because
still
it was-
has.
Because
Yeah,
you,
he
ne-
still
because you
has.
needed one to record.
yeah, we still needed one to
Yeah.
record.
Yeah.
And,
And
so
it was in Ibanez, nice blue finish.
still has it
passive.
to this day. Honey Bear.
Is it active bass?
It is an
so
active
it
bass.
uses a 9-volt, 8-volt battery.
An 8-volt
An
battery.
8-volt. And so we go to this place and we buy this. I'm like, this is a really good bass. This is great. We bring it home. I'm sitting there playing around with it, and Kristian comes home. He's like, nice bass. Whose is it? And I'm like, yours.
And it's like, this is your bass. Welcome to OCD.
and,
then-
and he looks at me like,
What?
So I went from roadie to, one of the performers in the band,
And
that-
still
in
and
that
still playing.
day-
and still playing.
And still playing.
and
So-
that day he learned 2 songs.
Very true.
He learned a Caveman Rejoice and
A year and 8 months.
I
year and
learned
8 months.
the basic bass line to a year and 8 months. Mind you, this is about a
Oh,
month and a
man.
half before the Battle of
About
the
a month,
Bands.
maybe.
But remember, during that, I think we also had Do Something.
Oh yeah.
We were also working on Do
you
Something
we
as
wrote
well.
that.
I had commissioned a song called "Do Something" from my angst with
work.
Very
work.
true. And so those were not the 3 songs that we played.
Yeah.
We chose 3 songs to play at Battle of the Bands.
A year
It
and 8
was
months.
A year and 8 months.
Do Something, A Year and 8 months, and I Like Milk.
Was it Do Something or was
Yeah,
it?
we
Started
played-
Do Something.
We
Yes.
played Do Something, A Year and 8 Months, and I Like
I
Milk.
Like Milk. Those
Ah,
were our
okay.
3 songs.
But the 3 songs that we originally had was A Year and 8 Months, Smells Like Teen Spirit,
yeah.
and I Like Milk. And then you
we wrote
commissioned
Do
the
Something.
song. We remembered that we were working on the song "Do Something" that you wrote down as lyrics. So
because
we decided
we needed to play 3 songs.
Yeah, we needed to play
and we
3
needed to
songs.
play
We couldn't do
3
covers.
original
Yeah,
songs.
Yeah.
they said
Yes.
we couldn't do covers.
So we
Crunch
decided
time
to
last week.
Yeah.
I think.
we decided to finish his commission of "Do Something," and guess what? You had to play your own song.
So I learned how to play the bass, the 3 original songs, mind you. I had to learn how to play 3 original songs that had almost no recording, so I had nothing to base my practice on except for memory and when they actually came over. And I learned how to play just in time for the Battle of the Bands. So the Battle of the Bands was actually my first performance in the band. Mind you, the Battle of the Bands, while I'm sure in the grand scheme of things, it's a very small thing. But this particular Battle of the Bands, my first performance, was at the House of Blues
on the Sunset Strip.
on Sunset Strip in the Foundation Room.
Yeah, so it
So,
was pretty...
arguably one of the biggest venues that we could have played.
Yeah.
That we have played, actually, in the past. And that's how I was introduced into the band by force.
Basically, yeah, by force.
Basically.
So then, since then, we decided to grow and expand, and we kind of embraced our Orange County roots, and we decided to go with more ska. So
Mhm.
that's why Do Something, A Year and 8 Months, they have that ska-ish kind of feel, but we were always missing that integral part, that horn section.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's
during
time
my
for,
and now it's time for
oh man.
the rest of the band to show up. During my time at college,
Yeah. Fullerton.
Fullerton College, there was an ad on the on the
Oh,
health.
yeah.
There was an ad as I walked down on the school campus health building, the first aid center, and it said guitarist. You know, there was a guitarist looking for a band,
And he
and
had
his influences there.
were-
We were walking together,
And it
Dodson
was like,
and I,
you know, Van Halen, Motley Crue.
and it was like, oh man, this is like,
that's what I want.
yeah,
This is
because this is like,
I
oh
want
man, this
that
is
lead guitar.
yeah, exactly, because we were influenced by Suburban Legends and
The Boston.
the Boston, so we wanted that kind of rocky lead guitar in front of a ska,
Rock.
a ska background. So we wanted that rock ska kind of feel. So I decided to, grab a number and called the guitarist, right there. I was like, "Hey, is this the guitarist that they put he put
Are
his
you gonna
ad?"
say his name, or you?
I will, but it didn't say his name. That's the thing.
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
right.
I was like, "Hey, I saw the ad on your that you left on on campus," and I was like, "Hey, I'm Colin, I'm Colin." So we were all like, I haven't heard any of him, any of his stuff yet or
Did you
anything.
give him my number?
I believe we left
remember.
our numbers with him.
I remember him calling me, or you giving me his number or something.
Yeah.
Because I was supposed to interview him.
You were supposed to interview him because you were the guitarist.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to have, full knowledge of what he's capable of.
Yeah, and we talked, and I loved his influences, and I had a feeling he was gonna be a pretty good match.
All right. So I didn't know that side of the story, but I decided to invite him over to one of our practices. At that time, we were playing in my garage.
All right, moved back.
Yeah,
to
we
the
moved back to a
garage.
garage, but in a different house. We had the garage open. It was an open jam session. We asked the neighbors if it was okay. They were okay with it. They wanted to hear the music anyways. So he showed up, and there was this spiky-haired white kid that looked like a rocker.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
And I was like, I don't know, is he gonna fit in? Because you
Let's
had
hear him
this,
play,
we
you
had
know?
this guy with long hair, this Asian guy, and another Asian guy on the bass. And as soon as he started playing, it was amazing.
He's still at least 3 times better than I am to this day.
and
I'm getting better, but oh man.
he basically added a new layer to what we were before, and it was the flair that we really needed, and just like the spirits basically, because when he plays on stage,
Oh my god.
he's feeling the music. I mean, it's just it's there, and then we're like, oh, okay, we have the rock aspect, but now we need
to
the
bring back the influence.
yeah,
we need to
we-
bring back the ska.
We need the ska part now.
and this is where the next band member comes
Yeah,
in.
this is
It
where
was-
the
it
next
was shortly after, wasn't it?
it was
Very
shortly
shortly
after.
after.
Very, very, very shortly afterwards. After Colin, we gave Colin the okay. Basically, that same
that
day,
day.
it was like, all right, we want you to join. How how do you feel about us? And then,
Mind you, this is still before the Battle of the Bands.
Oh yeah, that was.
this
the
was
week
before. This was before. That's right.
This was before the Battle
This
of
was
the Bands.
before College Battle of the Bands.
So I still hadn't performed. I was still learning the bass.
Yes. So, and then we were looking. I don't know. You know what? Honestly, I don't remember how
did you
EJ.
find EJ?
I don't know how
You
EJ
just
came
found
out.
him.
I found
in
him-
Fullerton College music area. Or
Yeah, I
something.
found him in the music area.
I remember meeting him. When I was at the school with you, and I met him.
Oh, you know what? I remember now. So I have a friend. He came from the same high school, Sunny Hills. I ran into him, and his name was DJ. Right? His name was DJ.
So we upgraded the D to an E. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I ran into DJ. He was a basically one-man acoustic guitar band guy. And he would just, jam on his acoustic guitar. He had a suitcase that he would use as a bass drum as he played, and then the other foot was a shaker, a foot-powered shaker. So I listened to it like, yeah, man, that's awesome. And DJ, he's all like, oh, you know what? I was talking about DJ about the musical influences. Like, oh man, I need a horn player. I just said horn player because I wasn't very picky. I didn't want a trumpet, trombone, sax. I just wanted a horn player. And DJ's like, oh, you know what? I have a friend. We meet in the cafeteria sometimes, and we just play around. He should be somewhere around here right now. Go ahead and talk to him. His name is EJ. DJ and EJ, yes. But I ran into EJ. He was on his hip, his bass clarinet in the cafeteria, playing for some reason in the cafeteria. I don't know why.
that's EJ.
Yeah, that's EJ, right? But I ran into him. I was like, hey, I was talking to. I know DJ, and I was just talking about how if you wanted to join a ska band, or if you wanted to try to play ska music, and he's like, okay.
Oh God.
In typical EJ fashion.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's do this.
I was like, we're gonna meet up, and I was like, okay, let's go join the next band meeting or band practice. At that time, we did have Colin with us, but he didn't show up for that particular band meeting.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was busy with work or something.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was it was just the three of us again, Dodson, Kristian, and myself. And, we had EJ with us just to see if he could play along, basically, to our music. And when he played
very
around,
jazzy.
very jazzy.
He
but
started off really jazzy.
But
He played well.
Fit.
He played well too. That's the big thing.
Yeah, he played really well. It matched with everything, and it also gave us a horn line that turned into that we didn't have, and it also gave it a soul.
A big thing about early EJ though was getting him to not play while you're singing.
Yes.
EJ, stop it! Stop!
Yes, he kept playing.
No matter what. After the
no
song
matter
was
what.
over,
Yes.
before it
Well,
started.
we still have that problem with EJ sometimes.
So when we expanded the horizons of Orange County Degenerates, you could say that Colin added the spirit, and EJ added the soul.
The jazz hands.
Yes.
So we were a band, a five-piece
We were
band.
a 5-piece band. Yes.
We played a couple shows. We played
We played the Chain Reaction show.
Chain
Chain
Reaction. We
Reaction,
played D
We
Piazzas.
played D
which
Piazzas
is-
twice.
D Piazzas. D Piazzas to this day remains one of our favorite venues. We played there probably the most amount of times.
I love
D
Piazzas.
Piazzas. But before I wanted to talk about D Piazzas, I actually wanted to talk about the rest of our band. And then it was shortly thereafter, because we had school and work and we had conflicts and stuff like that, so we weren't able to perform or meet as often as one would like. Colin, being the musically inspired person he was, he craved more from his music. He aspired for more. He craved, like I said, he craved for more out of his music. And unfortunately, at that time, we as a band weren't able to satiate that hunger that he had for music. So, like I said, Colin brought that spirit of rock to the music that we play. And to some extent, we never forgot that. We still have influences of that in what we play. But Colin, he left the Orange County Degenerates, and he joined, I believe, it's Pi.
Paradise
in
Paradise
Exile.
and yeah, Pi.
So shout out to them. I'm sure their website will be in the link dump. Shout out to an old member of Orange County Degenerates.
And that brings us to the AM Squared show,
That
where
brings us
we played
to-
I Know.
Yeah, that brings us to AM Squared, our first show without
Colin.
Without Colin. It was AM Squared, which stands for Anime, Music, and Manga. It was a convention in Anaheim Convention Center.
And it was at this point that kind of the music evolved. Our music evolved to what it is today. This is another turning point in the band, because you, especially Dodson, you had to step it up. Essentially, essentially, this became a point where you had to prove yourself that you were good enough to take the reins of guitarist again for the Orange County Degenerates. And by no means is that something to sneeze at. It was big shoes to fill after what we had, especially with two guitarists.
To be fair, I have a really good band around me.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
But and I do have to say that you were able to step it up, which is why we're sitting here today doing what we're doing. But at the same time, it also changed the face of our music a little bit, because at that time, we had a song called
I Know. Right?
No.
No.
I'm talking about changes in the music, and the biggest change that we had was El Matador.
Oh,
It's
right.
it's one of my personal favorite songs. That
I
we play.
wonder why.
I know.
So El Matador has a very interesting past in itself. We were having an argument or a heated discussion. We were having a heated discussion.
I can't just give you chords and make a song, Dodson.
That's
That-
pretty much.
And I was
That's
like,
what,
give me chords.
And I gave him.
And then I gave you an example. That's what I Like Milk was. I
Yeah.
just looked around the room and turned into lyrics. We can't make a song in 5 minutes.
So I gave you a chord, and you played a chord progression, and it sounded very Spanish influence. So I said, well, that's an interesting song if it were.
What would it be about? And I think somebody was like El Matador.
Yeah, it would be about El Matador, and that's where El Matador came from. It was a heated discussion. It was kind of like a joke, and that's what the lyrics originally were going to be.
Oh man.
Speaking
Speaking of, I
lyrics.
still have the
raw.
I still have the original workings of
Yeah.
El Matador somewhere in my computer.
So the way it generally works is Dodson will write the music, and somehow I write the lyrics for most of our songs. Somehow. Don't know how that works, but that's usually how it goes. In fact, sometimes, one time I left these two bozos
to write one line.
to
One
write
line.
one line
Wasn't
of
it El
lyric.
Matador or was it I Know?
No, it was
Nice guys.
it was
Nice guys.
Nice
It was
guys.
we
for Nice
had
Guys.
we had 2 verses that he wrote, and then he went off on a date.
I
And
did.
we sat
Yeah.
there for 3 hours.
Wrote
just going-
nothing.
We were looking at
We
the
didn't
screen.
get
It's like,
one line.
No,
Maybe we could-
no. Was it Nice Guys or was it
I think it was Nice Guys.
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
No, it wasn't I Know.
No,
It was Nice Guys.
it was Nice
Oh,
Guys.
that was another story. Okay, that was
yeah,
another
we'll
instance.
tell that story.
But yeah, they had written nothing in 3 hours. I got home, sat down,
Let's see what you got.
I wrote the rest of the song in about 30 minutes. So that's me.
Props to Kristian.
But
Shout out.
but essentially,
Yeah, right.
I wrote the lyrics to El Matador, and it was about.
Hey, I gave you the starting.
Very true. Dodson is very responsible for the beginning of the song, and that's what snowballed into what El Matador is today. And we
Because of that one line.
you know what? Why don't we have a guitar battle, since we had 2 guitarists at the time, and that's what El Matador and El Toro did. AM Squared show was another turning point for the band, like I said, because it changed how we played our music and the dynamic,
Especially
of the band.
especially El Matador.
especially El
because
Matador.
that was
EJ.
a guitar battle.
EJ filled some shoes there.
So
EJ
EJ picked it up
also-
and he filled in
yeah.
some shoes. We said, okay, so does that mean that we can't play El Matador anymore? I said, no, absolutely not.
EJ
EJ
will
can
be
play
El
it.
Toro.
EJ
So-
could still be El Toro because none of us was able, unless we had a guitar
drum.
bass or a guitar drum battle.
But I think we had to, we had to play to our strength, our assets,
Mm-hmm.
especially because at this point in time, EJ was more and more left out of the music because we had leaned so heavily towards
The guitar.
and the
Yes.
rock because of our influences at the time. So we said, why don't we give EJ the reins for this song? And that's what we hear today. And
It's amazing.
it's an amazing
Yeah.
It's an amazing change.
song.
It is
Sadly, well, I could say sadly because during the recordings of El Matador, we weren't able to get, Colin left during the middle of recording El Matador, so we couldn't get any guitar tracks in. But luckily, EJ's saxophone licks. For some reason now, El Matador
That's
was
all you think of.
That's all I could think of. It's
And
just-
I know we have a recording of that. It's a raw recording, but
it's
I
a
think
live recording of.
no, not the live one.
We
We
have-
have,
Oh,
we have
no,
an actual,
yeah.
we have an actual recording.
We have-
yeah.
we
The
have,
mixing is a little off, but I think we can put that in the linked up as well, so you can hear what El Matador sounds like in our heads, what we see it as. But it
the
was
new one, right?
yeah,
The newest one.
and it was AM Squared that was the turning point for us.
We
Which
added
is,
Lupin as well.
yeah,
the ska
which is
Lupin.
where we are today. It is the culmination of all that past and the learnings and the influences that brought us to where we are today. And I think as a 4-piece band, we're stronger for it today because we went through some trials. We went through a lot of trials.
Yeah.
Me and Nathan
Um,
have been through a lot.
Oh yeah. As one of,
Degenerate Elite.
as a member of the Degenerate Elite to becoming, what it is today, as one of the original band members, I should say.
Yeah,
Dodson
Kristian.
being the oldest original band member.
And I can't claim that I am an original band member, but I watched it grow.
You're an
from-
original OCD.
I'm an original OCD. I can say that.
Yeah.
But I watched the two of you essentially. I saw the trials and tribulations of growing from this garage band, just playing covers and wanting and striving for more in your music, and it was the culmination, the combination of you two finding an influence that you both fell in love with. And for, I'm not saying, to any of our listeners, go out and, fall in love with ska music, but that's what it was for us as a band. It was ska music. Arguably, it's kind of a dying genre, but
Kind of.
Kinda.
it's a very much dying genre. And we kind of the thing is, we kind of went into, I guess, the music quote unquote business, knowing full well that we weren't going to make money off of ska music.
Yeah,
because
because
the genre is
it's so
dead or
picky,
dying.
yeah.
But,
But-
we're gonna have fun.
but we
we're
can-
gonna have fun.
But
with
sure
that.
as hell
Yeah.
we can have fun. And I think that's what we have done as a band since then. We've had a lot of fun, but like I said, all of us have had trials and tests, things in the life of the band that have tested our metal
That just made our connections stronger.
that much stronger.
Yeah.
I think, and I think there was one point in the band, and I feel I hesitate a little bit to say it, but it's the truth. There were some times where I think you, Dodson, felt that you had to prove something to yourself, and every time you stepped it up and you were able to do it. Same thing for you, Nate. There were some times where
You took the drums.
where you definitely had to step it up. You literally had to take something new. You had been studying for what, a little over a year.
A little bit. No, not even.
And
That was
you-
like a couple
4
months.
months.
and mind you, that was just drumming, and then you had to not only drum but drum and sing,
and sing
at the same time. Even to this date, we have people who
don't believe.
who don't
it.
believe that our drummer is also our singer. So
Yeah, even at some of the shows, like, where's the singer? Who's singing? And then
it's the guy in the back.
yeah,
And then EJ, he had a difficult time assimilating with the band as well because he came from
A jazz influence.
essentially he came from like classical
He
training.
came from jazz and musical theory. Like
Yeah.
he
was
learned
very
by the book.
Yeah,
he was by the book.
And we're these street guys that just picked up an instrument and started playing. And Dodson here, he does have
A little bit.
he does have some music theory, but he's more
Self-taught.
self-taught street knowledge. So we all have our own level of musical competence, while EJ is kind of like all the way, knowledge bound in.
Yeah, he's almost a major. I
Yeah,
think a year
that's
or
his
two more.
that's his major.
Yeah, a year or two more, he'll
Uh-huh.
have
And I
degree.
know because of his background, it was difficult for him to fit into the music. But thank goodness that he has the patience
Yeah.
to allow us to find a way for our music to include him.
Mhm.
And I think it was at AM Squared that was like AM Squared truly is one of our biggest modern turning points as a band because that changed everything for us.
Yeah.
It told us, you know what? Every single member of the band is a vital portion to this.
We're all important as a group. No, I mean, whenever we play with one person missing, we know
We know.
Oh God,
we
like
know
today,
that there's something. Yeah, like today.
if we
EJ
give you
wasn't
that
here.
sample of the music at the end, we feel what's missing.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
know
know-
that
you're
there's
gonna know
something
it's different.
missing.
I think during rehearsal, I even said I miss EJ.
Yeah.
like, right after playing the first song.
Because you know that essence is not complete without everyone there.
It's like in Zelda when you've got a whole heart container and that quarter's missing, and
You
you're
know.
just like, God damn
It
it!
just doesn't feel right. So
Can't use my spinny blade.
so like I said, this podcast is a little different. The past couple ones have been a lot of fun, making fun of each other, but I think it's
It's time to get a little bit
Little history.
A little history.
I
of
think at least for
ourselves.
this one, it's about time to get back down to roots and let you
why we're here.
let you know why we're here, because each member of the band is important. We have had trials, tribulations, but at the same time we have fun, and this is how we get together. We sit down, talk, play some video games. Sometimes we practice music.
Occasionally.
Occasionally. But we want to share this. We want to share this with you because it's this camaraderie that we have as a band that's important to us, and that's what makes us the Orange County Degenerates. So I think we'll leave it there. I think at the end of this podcast, if you hold out for a little bit longer, we'll give you some insider tidbits on one of the rehearsals that we had a little bit earlier. So this is Orange County Degenerates signing out.
All right. So, hello, Internet. We are, again, 3/4 of OCD. It's Kristian over here. Nathan's over there on drums.
Yep.
I was kind of expecting him to introduce himself.
Oh,
but sure.
sorry.
And here we have Dodson.
No.
And as promised, we're going to show you or give you a peek of some of the rehearsal that we do here to get ready for our shows. So let's do this.
Dog, it's in mouth.
something to work on.
That was fun.
That was fun. That was the OCD rehearsal.
Worst rehearsal.
And there's a little bit of us just messing around. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll see you next time.
Whoa,